Hi everyone, Ellen Jaffe Jones here, and I have my 164th and 165th 5K or longer race that I've placed in for my age group this weekend, just on plants since 2006, been running on plants. And these were two different races. And I did one on a Friday night, and then I did the next one on a Saturday morning. So I only had about 12 hours sleep, or 12 hours rest, really, 5 hours sleep between the two races. And this one was the law enforcement torch run. That was on a Friday night. Got second place in that. And I tell you what, Sarasota, which is near the area where I live, just got chosen in Forbes magazine as the #1 city in Florida to live in, and seventh, I believe it was, on the top 10 cities to live in the U.S. Of course, Des Moines was like even higher than Sarasota. Maybe Sarasota wasn't that high, but at any rate, Des Moines was higher than Sarasota, and I lived and worked for 18 long months in Des Moines as a TV reporter, and unless you really like 60 below wind chill factors, or you like state fairs whose highlight is looking at a cow made out of butter, yes, that's right, big farm country up there, and industrial farms growing corn for cattle. So that was the race on Friday night, and then Saturday morning I did, this was, let's see, fourth place, yes. They actually awarded, and most races don't, but the Minnesota Track Club in the Sarasota area awards what they call 6 deep. And usually all of the awards up here are only 3 deep, but there are probably, I'm guessing, a half dozen runs that are up here, maybe not even that many, that I did with the Minnesota Track Club where I got in the top 6 versus the top 3. Sometimes I got the top 3, but anyway, I really wanted to talk about this race because it was very disturbing. I have never seen the dairy industry spend so much money at a race in my life. Not only were the typical chocolate milk cartons there handed out to everybody who was across the finish line, but they had a whole table there that was huge. And I posted pictures of these on social media. It just really was unnerving and upsetting. This is one of the things they handed out, and I'll read this to you because it's probably showing in reverse, but they were handing this out, and there was a woman who was obviously an employee. She had on some uniform that, and it doesn't say this on here, I don't think, but there was an organization called Moo, Better Moo, or Good Moo, or something like that. I'll post the link down below when I find out what it was, because it's not on this material here. But this says 20 plus studies support the benefits of chocolate milk for post-exercise recovery. Okay, that would be 20 studies that were funded by the dairy industry, right? Low-fat chocolate milk is a natural source of high-quality protein to build lean muscle. Has the right mix of protein and carbs scientifically shown to refuel exhausted muscles and help return potential. Provides fluids and electrolytes like calcium, potassium, magnesium, and sodium to rehydrate. You know, how did our Paleolithic relatives get so much energy to go chasing after wild animals, if on occasion they would do that, although mostly they were plant eaters? How did our ancestors ever survive? Drinking milk from another species? As my research in my book Paleo Vegan discusses, it was probably a matter of when cow's milk was first discovered, or goat's milk, actually, in extreme climates like deserts where maybe there wasn't a lot of water, and so somebody saw the fluid from another animal and thought, wow, I wonder what that would taste like. I wonder if we could survive on that. And actually, the gene had to develop so they could survive in the long term. And some people didn't develop that gene, and so they are lactose intolerant to this day. And that's the frustrating thing, is that most of us, even if we don't test positive for lactose intolerance, our stomachs don't feel right, our sinuses are always draining. There's so many reasons not to be drinking the basically mammary excretions from another species. We don't need to do that. Our own species has the perfect combination for the first few years of life, and then we don't need to continue breastfeeding anymore. And that's what cow's milk is. But the worst part of this was the other side that says, are you built with chocolate milk, trusted by athletes, backed by science? Join the team and win. And listen to this, $500 sponsorship. Team training and race gear. Oh, what runner wouldn't want that? Free rock and roll and Ironman entries. These are different races out there for those of you who don't race. Training perks and team support. And go visit this website, getchocolatemilk.com, to learn about Team Chocolate Milk and the recovering benefits of low-fat chocolate milk. Got chocolate milk is the last line on this. I am so upset about all of this. And not only did they have these little cards, they had huge posters, like this big, that dozens of them that they were giving out to anybody who wanted one, that basically had this information, it's not even information, had that scripting on it to indoctrinate people. And here's the thing, this race was at I think it was an elementary school. And it was for children. I mean, really geared toward children. So they had pencils, they had plastic cups, they had all this tchotchke stuff out there for kids to pick up to try and indoctrinate them. And it just breaks your heart when you realize that there's no money in broccoli, as I say in my book, Eat Vegan on $4 a day. All right, that's my rant for today. Gotta run.